Alright, so let's give the Solitaire version of Flip City another try. In the game, you start off with a number of cards. So you start with 4 residential areas, 1 apartment, 1 convenience store, 1 hospital, 1 central park, and 1 factory. In the Solitaire game, there are 4 convenience stores, hospitals, factories, and central parks available to purchase. All of the cards in Flip City are double-sided. So the apartment is actually the other side of the residential area. The cards are going to get shuffled. And I'm not going to look for a moment so that I don't know what's going to end up on top. Alright, we're going to stop there. So, residential areas, when it's the top card, you have to play it. So I have to play this card. It generates a money, but it also generates 1 unhappiness, for lack of a better term. When I get 3 of these in play, I have to stop and my turn is done. I don't get to spend the money, I'm just finished. I can flip it over by spending 1 once it's in my discard pile, but there's nothing there yet, so I'm going to play the residential area. I have another one on top, so I have to play that one as well. And then I have another one on top, so I have to play that one as well, giving me 1, 2, 3 unhappy faces, which means my turn is wasted. It's a great way to start the game. So let's try this again. My top card again, residential area, so we're going to play that. I now have a factory. The factory is, if my deck is not empty, when this card gets played, the bottom card of my deck is discarded. So it makes me go through my deck a little bit faster. And there's a time element to the solo game because it's every time you shuffle your deck, you throw away a card from the available cards in the supply. But it does give me 2 money, and I know that that's my last residential area, so I'm not going to be forced to play a card. So I'm going to go ahead and actually play that. So it gives me 3. I have a central park. It provides me 2 points. If I can get 8 in 1 turn without getting too many unhappy faces, I'll win, but right now that doesn't do a whole lot for me. But it does let me buy an additional time during my building, or during the building phase. So let's say I go ahead and play that. Now what I can do is I can stop there. I have 3 to spend. I can buy and do something else, because the Central Park lets me buy something. I'm going to go ahead and buy a convenience store, which costs 2. And then I am going to use the other money I have to convert this residential area into an apartment. Apartments still generate bad, and they still generate only 1 money, but you're not forced to play them, which is a really, really useful thing to do. So there goes that turn. I have a hospital, which gives me a money for each unhappy that I've gained this turn, and it does count itself, so playing this right now with nothing else on the table will give me 2 money. Let's go ahead and play that. I have a convenience store, it'll give me another money, and if I can play 18 or more cards, which I have no chance of playing right now, I would win, but that's not helpful. So I'm actually going to stop there with the 2... actually, no. I am going to go ahead and play the convenience store. So it gives me 3. With the 3, I'm going to flip one of the other convenience stores that I just purchased into a shopping mall. Shopping malls give 2 money, so it's twice as much and it's worth a point, but it makes you play another card if you play it on your turn and your deck's not empty. So it does push you a little harder, but it's usually worth it in what I've seen. So I'm going to stop there. Last card I have is an apartment. It gives me 1 money. If I can spend the 8 money, I can put it into another player's discard pile. In a solitaire game, that just means it goes out of the game. I'm going to go ahead and spend that 1 money on converting another residential area into an apartment. And that's the last card from my deck. So I have to throw away a card. And of those cards, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of a convenience store. Now we're going to try this again. I'm going to shuffle up my deck, and again I'm not going to look. And we're going to stop there. Alright, I've got a shopping mall. It's a good amount of money. I would have to play the next card. Probably worth it. So 2. I have to play the residential area because it's a residential area and because the shopping mall says 2. So that actually worked out. There's 3. An apartment. Now the apartment's nice because it would get me to 4 money, and then I could buy a hospital if I wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and risk it. Alright, so I have a convenience store. I could get to 5. I could shoot for a factory. I think I'm going to stick with the hospital for now. There's the 4. So new turn. I've got a convenience store that's going to generate 1 residential area. I have to play it generates another, so it gets me up to 2. And Central Park, I can buy another card. Not terribly helpful with only 2 money. We'll go ahead and play that. The hospital is a very good timed card. So I get 1, 2, 3, and then this gives me 1 for each unhappy, so 4, 5. So 5, I could buy a factory. My next card is an apartment, which would make me bust, so obviously I'm not going to play that. So with my 5, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a factory. And these all go away. I have an apartment, which is going to give me a negative. I have another apartment, it's going to give me a negative. I have a factory, which is actually the best place for this because it's now the last card in my hand, or my deck, so I don't have to discard a card when I play it. It would give me to 4 money, which would let me turn the just purchased hospital into a church, which is useful for pushing harder because it gives you the ability to have another unhappy face and not bust. So I'm going to go ahead and play the factory, get to 4 money, spend that to convert the hospital into the church. And now I've gone through my deck again, which means I have to throw away another card. We're going to throw away Central Park. They're nice, particularly on the station side, where they're worth 3 points of the 8 you need to win, but they're expensive, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. So we shuffle, we shuffle, we shuffle. Alright, I have a church, which means I can push a little harder this turn. We'll go ahead and play that. Central Park, I can buy another card. Don't have any money yet, still probably okay. Factory, I have to discard the bottom card of my deck, that's okay. And now I have the apartment, so let's discard the apartment, that's okay. I'm at 0 of the 3 unhappy faces I can safely take this turn, so we're going to go ahead and play the apartment. I have a residential area now, so I have to play that. I have a shopping mall. If I play the shopping mall, I have to play something else. So I'm currently at 2, 3, 4 money. I can spend it on up to 2 cards or 1 conversion in 1 card. Shopping mall would get me to 6. It would get me fairly close to getting a Central Park. I'm going to risk it. So now we have a residential area. I have to play this. Normally this would bust me because I have 1, 2, 3, but I only have 2 currently played, and the church lets me have another without busting, so hopefully I don't have to play the next card. Hey, it's a convenience store. So now I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is enough to go ahead and buy the Central Park. Yay! And we'll discard everything. And if people have questions while I'm playing, send them. I can see my screen, so not going to slow me down too much. Convenience store, worth the cash. Hospital will get me another 2, puts me up to 3. Factory will put me up to 5, and I have to discard one card, which is the last card. And I could keep going, or I can take my 5 and convert that Central Park I just picked up into station, which is worth a lot more victory points. And that's another run through my deck. So now we're going to discard a hospital. Keep it fairly evenly distributed so I can still buy whatever I want to for now. And shuffle this, not looking, gonna stop there. Alright, I have a church again, so that gives me more safety net. Central Park lets me buy another card. Apartment gives me money. The Factory, which if I play it I have to put the bottom card away, that's fine. That gets rid of the residential area. That's actually probably the best card I could lose. The Hospital, which is very nice right now because of that. So I am currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 money. The Convenience Store would put me to 7, which means I could buy another Central Park. So we're going to go and try for that. Alright, I have my station on top, so it's actually a really good card to stop with. So I'm going to take my 7 and get my Central Park. I can also flip one more card this building phase, and my flips cost 1 less. Well, that costs 1 to flip, so we'll go ahead and make it a safe apartment instead of a potentially unsafe residential building. That's that round. So now I have my station. So that's 3 points. I have a residential area, I have to play it. That puts me to 1 money and 3 points. An apartment could get me to 2. I don't have any residential areas in my discard. So that's not terribly... Keeping the 1 money is not terribly helpful, so we'll go ahead and play the apartment. Get a factory, which makes me discard. I do have, let's see, that's 1, that's 2, I think there's 3 cards there. That would get me to 4 money, which would let me convert another hospital, which wouldn't be a bad thing, so let's go ahead and play that. Shopping mall would get me to 6, and it makes me play the last card. So I've got 1 residential, 1 apartment, and 2 more apartments there. Oh, my factory makes me discard this last card. That's right. So shopping mall, I could safely get to 6, and I wouldn't have to play another card because that's the last card I have. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Flipping costs 1 less, and I can flip again. So the first thing I can do is flip a Central Park to another station for 4 instead of 5. And let's see, that turn I generated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that cost me 4, so I still effectively have 3. I can convert that convenience store into a shopping mall because it gives me another point, and that's another run through my deck. So we're going to get rid of a factory now. Not getting particularly low on anything. I only have 1 Central Park left, that's probably okay. So we're going to go ahead and stop there. Alright, shopping mall 2, and I have to play the card. Central Park, 2 more points. Apartment, a money, which is fine. I'm going to put those like that. Next card is a church. Church would be great right now because it's effectively nullifies that unhappy. Residential area, have to play that one. Station, which is going to give me 3 points, so definitely really want to play that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. 2 of the 3 unhappy I can have for the turn. I have a factory in hand. I'm going to go and play that because that'll throw, unfortunately, a shopping mall out from the bottom of my deck. So now I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 money. That could get me to 5 money. I think I only have 1 residential area left. I'm probably okay to play that. So we're going to go and play. Alright, so I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3. 6 points, 3 unhappy. If I get another unhappy face, I bust for the turn. I have another factory, which gives me even more money, so I'm going to go and play that. And I have to throw away an apartment. That's fine. My next card is a station. Assuming I can successfully play this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of the 8 I need. So if I can play this and I don't have to play my next card, I win. Play that. My next card is a hospital. I don't have to play that. And that puts me to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points on the turn. And 1, 2, 3 unhappy faces, which is fine because I had a church. So I actually won with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards left available to purchase. That actually went a lot smoother than the games from yesterday, and yay for me. So if you have any questions, I am demo_Ken on Twitter. You can also shoot me an email, ken@geek-craft.com. This has been Flip City from Tasty Minstrel Games. I will hopefully be playing this multiplayer later. I've only played it solitaire so far, but it's a really interesting, somewhere between a game and a puzzle, that I really enjoyed. And it's very clean, it's very pretty, and it's a lot of fun so far. So, again, this is Ken from Geek-Craft.com, geek-craft.com, demo_Ken on Twitter, and see you later.